Hey everyone, Dustin back. We're going to talk a little bit about hydrations. Are you getting the most, not necessarily from the ketones, but out of your body? Are you getting the most out of your body? And I want to talk a little about a topic that I'm very, very passionate about, and it's called water and hydration. And I'm going to give you a couple tips here, because what I found over the last 2.5 years, and then now 20 years of my career, is that people are usually dehydrated, and ketones will only highlight a deficiency. So if you have a current deficiency, it's going to make it seem like you have, you're like, why do I get a headache? I don't have really bad headaches. Well, because you're dehydrated, and the ketones highlighted that dehydration, and now you had a symptom, you notice the symptom of a headache, right? So what we want to do is we want to basically now streamline that. I want to get in front of that. And so this is important. If you're brand new, I want you to really watch this video. If you're a promoter or if you're somebody that is sharing this product, it's important to realize is that everybody's hydration is different. And so the first thing I'm going to start with is that we all probably know we should drink more water. It's like, yeah, I should drink more water. Okay, good, great. But here's the challenge is that what's in your water matters also. It's not the amount of water you drink, it's actually what's in your water that improves hydration. So like if you were to go get an IV drip at the doctor, they don't just give you pure distilled water or reverse osmosis water. You know those big blue jugs that go gluk, 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 gluk? Often they're basically filtered so much they take all the minerals out of it. Like the tanks under your sink that are really pure clean water, but they took the minerals out too. Most bottled water, it says minerals for taste. I don't trust Coca-Cola with my mineral consumption, and they're in the best interest of my health. They're making it so that you can palate the water, right? They gave a little bit of mineral so it tasted a certain way, but is that ideal for your health? And what we're finding is it's not. So when we drink water, one of the things I'm gonna encourage is that we need to increase our electrolytes, and we need to increase our, often sodium in our water, put a little salt in your water. So I'm gonna give you some tips of how to do that. And also, if you're noticing a little fatigue or a little bit of maybe a light headache or some cramping, I'm gonna give you some tips around how to help that. If you notice constipation, I'm gonna give you some tips around that too. So just stay tuned. All right, so here's the thing. When you drink your water, be aware of where you get your water from. Be aware that if you're drinking bottled water or drinking reverse osmosis or filtered or distilled water, that there's a good chance it's actually causing more dehydration. You're drinking, oh, I drink tons of water, or I'm really healthy. I hear that all the time. It doesn't mean you're not dehydrated, right? So what I want you to do, if you drink that water, you can still drink it. You have to add electrolytes, and there's a lot of them on the market. What you want to do is you want to find, I have some recommendations, we'll put it in the post, but you have to find ones that are low in carbs and sugars. I prefer ones that don't have much taste to it, but as long as they don't have any extra sugar or carbs in it, or they use like stevia as a sweetener, I'm fine with that. But you never know how much you need. You have to play with that for yourself. I do recommend using like a Celtic, a real sea salt, Celtic sea salt or Himalayan sea salt, pinches of that in your water every single day. And in most cases, if you're noticing that you have faint headaches, if you stand up quickly and you get lightheaded, that's a sign of mineral deficiency, sodium deficiency, and dehydration. So you might need to increase your salt intake. So my wife drinks her water literally like a mild salt water, and it works perfectly. She's healthier than ever. But if she doesn't, she gets a little bit more dizzy, lightheaded. She doesn't feel good. I can tell you a lot of reasons why that's happening. It has to do with stress, has to do with a little bit of anxiety, other things like that can create this. So if you're a stressful person, you probably use more sodium than if you're a non-stressful person. Just keep that in mind, right? You might crave saltier foods more, so you may need to increase, if you're not eating chips, you have to increase your sodium through your water by adding sea salt to it, over-salting your food. Things like that will really help you out. So what I want you to do is every day add sea salt, add electrolytes, but here's a couple little things. And you can do it like, we basically make a picture of water on our counter. We add a couple scoops of electrolytes, we add some shots of sea salt in there, and we drink that as we pour it in a cup. That's how we do it. You do it however you want. But this is really, really, really important, because I don't want anybody to judge this product based on their dehydration, that it didn't work for them, because those kids out there that are struggling with focus in school and behavioral challenges, they need this so that they can change the trajectory of their future. And I want to make sure they get a chance, right? I want to make sure everybody gets a fair chance to try this product, and so I don't want to leave any rock unturned, right? Now, so if you notice you get a little bit of a headache, or you're fatigued, or you're cramping, here's a simple trick. You can actually just drink some pickle juice and see if it goes away. But you can take between a 1/16 and an 1/18 or 1/16 or 1/8 teaspoon of sea salt, throw it in a shot glass, shoot the salt water down, and then chase it with a big glass of water, and then do it 30 minutes later. And if you notice your headache goes away, then you are very deficient, and you need to really start participating over the next few weeks in increasing your sodium intake and increasing those electrolytes. It's extremely, extremely important. Now, I live in Southern California. We live in a desert. Everybody here thinks they're healthy, and you know who you are. I eat well, I eat clean. They're all dehydrated. All my doctors I work with here, they're almost all these dehydrated. As soon as they go low carb, their energies are off. They're healthy, but they're dehydrated, if that makes sense. And so this is really important. If you live in Arizona, Nevada, even parts of Utah, a desert, California, you're in a desert. If you exercise more, you're depleting those. If you're a high stress person, you're depleting them more. We need more electrolytes. Magnesium's another big one. And so it's really important to be aware of that this works every single time. But there's situations where if it's highlighting a deficiency in you, you may need to spot treat or take a multivitamin, get some extra electrolytes and minerals. Those things are important because it's not gonna necessarily fix every one of your problems, but what it's gonna do is it's gonna give you pure ketones, which we all really, really need. And then the last little tip is that if you get constipated because you change your diet or you just are prone to constipation, and if dehydration is a big component of that, what I want you to do is get some magnesium citrate, and you start with maybe 250 milligrams, have it with dinner, and then slowly increase it up until you start going regularly, right? Until you start going regularly. You can use aloe as a little bit of aloe also, but use that because I want those bowels moving, but you need the magnesium anyway. But just keep in mind the magnesium citrate is gonna lean more towards bowel movement. So if you get loose stools, you need to back off. Don't quit it, just back down until you find that right formula for yourself. But salt, sodium, electrolytes are really, really important if you're doing a low carb diet lifestyle without our product, or if you're drinking our product, or if you're doing a combination. More electrolytes, more sea salt is really, really, really important. So stay tuned, plug into our page, and ask questions if you have one. Bye, everyone.